Hey, how you doing? Thanks for downloading the show. Welcome to Garden Fork Radio. It's eclectic DIY. It's me and my friends talking about what we hope you find interesting because we're interested in it. Today, Nicole and I are going to talk about side hustles, the new Garden Fork newsletter, Rick's closet, all sorts of stuff. Welcome.
Hey, this is great. These are all topics I'm interested in. I hope our listeners are too.
We have a huge list. We're going to have to do a double show.
Okay. I'm here for it. Here we go.
Real quick, I just wanted to announce to everybody that I am publishing a second newsletter every week. Usually I put out a newsletter that has announcing a new video and a new podcast, and there's always a giant Labrador photo at the top of it. And, you know, maybe some other interesting things. And then there's a little bit of Amazon shopping always at the end. It is partly how we pay the bills, and I appreciate you guys putting up with me for that. But I always have all this other stuff that I want to get out to people, and Facebook blows, Twitter blows, Instagram blows, you know. So I decided to start, inspired by some other people I've seen do this. They just have, I call it the cool stuff newsletter. If you're already subscribed to the Garden Fork email list, you will get this second one. Check your promotions tab or your social tab for it and move it into your regular inbox. But I always have all this stuff I watch or read during the week and I want to share with everyone, and I'm going to put it all in a second newsletter. And the first one went out this week. So if you want to sign up, gardenfork.tv/email, or there's a link in the show notes here as well. Nicole, did you get the newsletter?
Yeah, I got the newsletter. I got the dog picture. I was very excited about that. And low key, I'm thinking that maybe my daily email dumps or text dumps to you should be somehow a newsletter too.
Okay, that's fine.
I read the news in the morning, and what I find interesting, I send to my friends that I think will be applicable to your days. And that's where I sent the morning routines thing to you guys the other day. I sent it to you and Rick the other day.
Yes.
I get this newsletter similar to Eric's new newsletter. It's called The Whippet. She's from Australia, and her newsletter is very eclectic. It's kind of things she's come across that she's interested in, and she'll do some more research on it. And at the beginning of the year, she's been trying to figure out how to achieve her, these goals we set for ourselves, right? And so she thought hard about it and came up with a new way of conceptualizing figuring out your goals. And she calls them figure out goals. So instead of saying, I want to make sure the kitchen's cleaned every night before I go to bed, she changes it to figure out what part of cleaning up the kitchen I don't like and how can I make that better.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll do it.
Why are you avoiding it? Yeah.
Why are you avoiding? That's a different way to, figure out what would motivate you to go exercise, or figure out one of the things she was talking about is like, what kind of atmosphere do you want to create by your morning routine or your evening routine, right? Your evening routine, you want to calm down. So figure out what you can do to help you calm down other than setting the goal, like an hour before bed, I won't look at the phone. Well, figure out how you can achieve that, which I really liked that.
Yeah, there's an end result. For me, at least, cleaning the kitchen there's an end result. Is there are no bugs in my kitchen?
Oh God, yeah, no, that's a big motivator, right? You figured that out.
Yeah, we live in an apartment building, so not everyone is as clean as you. If you keep your apartment clean, the bugs go elsewhere.
Oh gosh. Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, New York. Ooh, okay, I got some chills there.
My other, I don't know if it's a motivator, but I exercise not because I love it, but because it makes my depression much more manageable, or sometimes it will cause it to go away for the day, which is really nice.
Well, that's one of the things, like, okay, so you figured out to help your depression, you need to exercise, right?
Yep. Every morning, yeah.
It's not really optional.
Well, you don't want to see cranky, depressed Eric.
I sure don't. I like happy Eric. Anyway, I'll send the link. You can link to it in the
The
notes.
Whippet newsletter.
The Whippet newsletter. Whippets are a kind of dog. Now, do you think Labradors are actually from Labrador? Like, why are they called that?
I don't know, but someone is yelling back at the podcast right now because they know.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
you email us at radio@gardenfork.tv, you could even email us a voice message from your phone, record it on your phone and then make it an attachment. We will play it.
Oh, that would be so fun.
How's that
Somebody
for
do that, okay?
listener interaction?
I love it.
Speaking of interaction, we had our annual New York City retreat for Nicole and I. We got together.
I brought my family this time. We did some brainstorming about waterproof boats.
Yeah. So Nicole came to New York with her family, and I met up with them, and there were 5 of us. And to find a quiet place for 5 people to sit down at a table or some chairs and a coffee table or something is actually extremely difficult in New York City.
And it was really, really, really cold. So we needed to go inside.
Yes, we could just hang out in the park. And we went to, the camera operator suggested a restaurant near her office. And it ends up it's a vegan restaurant, which was fine with all of us. And we went there right when they opened at noon, was it, I think?
Yeah, noon or 11, I don't know.
And we got a table for 5, and it was almost empty, so it was perfect. We were paying them money to be there. We had some lunch, but also it was quiet enough for us to have a good conversation as well. So nice.
Yeah, we could all chat. The boys were there. So it was nice. It was really good. And then Eric left us and we went to a fancy secondhand shop. That was up the way.
Right.
We did not buy anything.
So it was like University Place in about 13th Street, I think that was.
Yeah. They had like Louis Vuitton and designer.
Oh.
I'm looking for designer thrift for cheap. That's my goal.
I don't know. I wonder if you have to go to garage sales for that. I don't know.
Actually, I just go to the thrift stores near me. There's like 3 of them. I have them on a circuit now. I'm really into Coach bags. There's a subgenre of the internet of people who collect Coach bags. And now I have learned from watching the internet how to rehab the leather Coach bags from like the 80s and 90s. So I have all the supplies, and I've got a new Poshmark website, or Poshmark store, I guess is what the correct terminology is. And so I'm selling the random crap that I find at the thrift store. It's like win-win for me.
So it's kind of like an Etsy store, except you're selling posh items.
Well, I'm just selling. Yeah, I could have an Etsy store too. And in fact, maybe Etsy or eBay would be better for selling this. My brother was saying that the fees are, well, actually my nephew was saying the fees are a lot less on eBay. So we'll see how it goes. But like the Poshmark website is very pretty. And, they're all, there are people there that are into your obsession of Coach leather bags. Yeah, so we'll see. I've sold 2 bags so far, and it's been a week. So I feel pretty good about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your other new side hustle is decision making.
Oh my gosh, guys, this is actually going to be like life changing for me. There's an article I sent to Rick and Eric. There's a woman since 2013 people pay her to make decisions for them in their life. So in the article, she talked about like somebody was redoing their kitchen and they wanted her to decide what color paint to paint. So she has a call with them. I think the calls are usually an hour. She charges $250 and she tells them what to do. Now, I already have in my real life people who come to me to make decisions for them. So I think I can do this.
You don't even need to think about it. You totally can, because you, in a very subtle way, tell me to do things. And I'm like, oh, that's really smart. I think, you're really good at it. And there are people that will pay you for that. Yeah.
Well, and I can, I'll do it for less. I'll make a decision for you for $99, honestly. And so what we need help from our listeners is I'm looking for a name for my business, the website. I came up with Let Nicole Decide.
Yeah.
And then Rick had something funny. He had a good one. He was like, What was it? I'll have to look back through our text. But what do you think?
Oh, I think it's fabulous. I would, could be Nicole Answers.
Oh,
Answers,
that's a good one.
Answers
I like
by
that.
Nicole.
Yeah. But, I have had those experiences in life, well, rarely, but where I am like, if somebody else would just decide this would be easier, Should I do A or B? Somebody else decide.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll
Oh,
decide.
Rick's is Clear Choice with Nicole.
Oh, yes, I like that a lot too. Although Clear Choice, I think, is a internet people or something, isn't it?
There might be a trademark there, but your tagline would be from Rick: "I'm a lawyer, but I am not your lawyer."
I liked that too.
Because Nicole is a lawyer, everyone. So
I used to be a lawyer. I went to law school. I still pay the student loans. How about that?
yeah,
That's what I do.
decisions
Law-wise.
by Nicole. Nicole, it's got to be something that could just come right out of people's heads. One
Right,
or
so they
two
know
words.
for sure. This is what we're doing.
Like who
I'm
were
deciding
the
for you.
cleaning people that we had on the show that you brought on the show?
Oh yeah, clean decisions. No. Oh, disrupt the disorder.
Yeah, I mean that just
DTD. I'm
sticks.
doing their headshots
Oh.
next week. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it sticks in your head. DTD, right? Although you didn't remember it, but you remember that it existed.
Yeah. Decisions, Nicole. Nicole decisions. Decisions by Nicole.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea for me. I'm really good at making decisions.
You really are. Okay, so radio at gardenfork.tv, everyone, okay?
Yes. I appreciate any input.
So, are we done with the decision making part of the topic discussion?
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. I feel like I've decided to move on.
Hey, if you're not already subscribed to the email newsletter, go to gardenfork.tv/email and you'll get a screen, put in your email address, hit go, and that's it. Oh, and there's a really cool picture of the Labradors on that page. gardenfork.tv/email. Sign up and you'll get both emails. They may end up in your promotions folder if you have MSN Mail or Microsoft Mail or Gmail and all that, but it'll be more of Eric, and I'm really happy about this because I get to share more cool stuff. So yeah, did I already say gardenfork.tv/email? I did. See ya. I got a call from a friend of mine a week ago, and this is upstate, and keep in mind it's like 25 degrees up there all the time in the winter. And he says, I'll just summarize. My toilet is overflowing, the sink in the kitchen won't drain, and the shower won't drain. And so I said, when was the last time you pumped your septic? And he said, I don't know where it is.
Oh no.
And I'm in my brain, I'm like, okay, you've lived in this house at least 10 years. I said, I'll come over, but I'm pretty sure your septic is full and the pipes are plugged. So, very long story short, me crawling through a crawl space, look at all these pipes and everything, and finally calling in the professionals. Two things: if you know where your septic tank is, get it pumped every 3 to 5 years. And if you don't know where it is and you've just moved in, ask the previous owner, or almost always your town or county health department has a map of your home with the location of the septic tank.
Now, there are two other Harkins that you guys haven't met. My sister, though, she lives out in the middle of nowhere, Erica, and she has the bunny outfit and everything because her pump has gotten clogged. She's had the whole thing. She has it pumped on the regular.
Right.
But the actual pump has gotten clogged. And she doesn't want to pay the sewer guy. So she has the bunny suit. She has all the things that you have to wear.
Are you talking about
And
the
she,
Tyvek, like a Tyvek suit?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So she can get in there and
Yeah,
fix
I
the
mean,
pump.
there is some, because on newer septic systems, they are usually a raised field. It looks like a helicopter landing pad in the yard because they've tightened up the percolation requirements, I think, of the drain fields of septic tanks. So you have to have a pump from the septic tank that pumps the waste material. I think does the pump come before or at? Anyway, there is a pump involved, and yeah, it can clog. So
Yeah. So she is, I mean, she's maybe the cheapest Harkin. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to tell which of them is the cheapest. But yeah, she realized it was, and so I don't think her husband will fix it anymore. He's not interested in fixing it for cheap. So she calls her son and makes him come out and help her.
well, just have a really big fan blowing and a organic vapor mask. No, I'm serious. The 3M organic vapor mask.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's worse
Oh,
things.
man.
There's worse jobs in life. So
Well, remember that? Do you remember that show, Dirty Jobs? Is that what it was called?
yeah, yeah,
I thought that was a great show.
it is.
There are a
Yeah.
lot of really good jobs that are hard. They make you dirty, but like you also make a lot of money.
Yes, it's this was rather expensive for them to come because the ground is frozen. And I called the neighbor of mine who's an excavator, and he said, wherever the septic is, usually on top of the septic, the ground is not frozen or it's barely frozen because it's a biodigester. It puts off heat.
Right,
You know.
right.
So I was not there when they did find it. What was weird is this house was built in the 50s. The tank was right next to the house. It was literally the one side of the tank was touching the foundation wall.
Oh, wow.
And it was made out of metal, not cement, which I've never run across a metal septic tank before.
Well, wouldn't it rust or something?
Yes, so now it's gotten very expensive. They have to now replace that metal tank with a new one, which I believe will be cement. I don't know, maybe plastic, but more than likely cement.
Huh, and an opportunity to move it further away, I would assume.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not involved now. I kind of stepped away, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to my friend's credit, I mean, I thought all along that the septic was clogged, but I'm like, let's do our due diligence and see if the lateral main sewer line and what's called the stack, which is the pipe that goes up from your basement wall or your the floor, if that is clogged. And that took a while to ascertain that was fully clogged as well. And if you don't know where your septic is, just call the county and then this spring have it pumped, okay?
No, that's a really good. Yeah, that's like great advice. DC has a program right now where you can get your water pipes. You can check. They'll come and check and see if they're made out of lead. And if they are made out of lead, they'll replace them for you.
That's a big deal. In New York City, a lot of the residential water mains here are still lead. Ours is not. It's copper, but at one time it was. And I have friends that live in, whether I think everyone calls them townhouses. We call them brownstones, but they have lead water mains. And allegedly, because the lead main is kind of covered with silt because the water comes from reservoirs upstate, there's a thin layer of clay or sediment material, so the lead can't leach into the water. This could be completely wrong, but this is what I was told.
No, yes, that's the same. They say here too. Nevertheless, there's this program. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't disturb it, that it's supposed to be safe. It's kind of
just
like
not worth
asbestos, though, right? You're supposed to don't disturb the asbestos unless you're going to do the whole remediation. I don't know.
Yes, if you, like a lot of the steam pipes in older buildings in the basement, or maybe even in hallways and stuff, are, as an insulation, were coated in asbestos, usually like a sleeve of it, like the fiberglass sleeve that goes over a pipe now, they would slide on, or sometimes they would paste it on, like joint compound. If long as you leave it alone, it's fine because it's not become, I think the word is friable. In other words, the dust gets up into the air. Kind of like when you puff a container of foot powder and it kind of, looks like a steam locomotive
Yes.
coming out. You're aerating the dust particles and then you're breathing them, which is bad. But actually, asbestos removal is pretty affordable these days. I would get rid of asbestos. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Where I'm from in Montana, there was a huge asbestos mill.
Yep.
And of course, the town is contaminated and, yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of people who can't breathe because of that. That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Mesothelioma.
Well done.
Anyway, God, we went from posh
Where
handbags
were
to
we?
asbestos.
I know. Well, that's us, eclectic.
I have one more thing I wanted to share, but go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
If you like Costco but don't want to pay the membership, you can order almost everything they sell except the perishable food on their website and have it delivered. And if you spend more than $50, I think the shipping is free.
Wow, I had no idea. Well, we are literally, I'm like a lifelong Costco member, and we have the business one, and you get something like 4% back, and that, I mean, every year that's paid for. Like we just got a check for $140.
And that'll pay because the membership is $75, I think, or something.
Yeah, 75 or 99, I don't know. So we're definitely making that back.
For me, I just don't want to go in the Costco. I mean, it's no longer I moved to a different neighborhood, but it's always kind of a dumpster fire to go in there, in my opinion. But like toothpaste and mouthwash is half the price of what other retailers sell it for online or in the stores.
Yeah, Brent the other day needed some eye drops, and the eye drops at CVS were $26. And I was like, well, that's the same price at Costco. You should go to Costco. And he's like, well, it's so much more of a hassle. And I was like, well, it's for 3 bottles. And he was like, oh, I guess I should go to Costco.
Yeah.
So it's this $26 for 1 bottle versus 3 bottles. But you know what my hack is for that? Because honestly, going into the Costco is a nightmare for me because I get sucked into all the things. All the other things that I could buy. So we do have an Instacart membership, and that actually saves us money. Even though we have to pay a little bit of a markup, it saves us money because I don't buy other crap. I only buy the stuff that's on our list.
Yes. Yeah, it can be a dangerous store because all of a sudden there's like a Bluetooth speaker and you're like, oh, wow.
Well, that would be great. We could have music all the time.
You don't really need it, but like, oh, yeah, that'd be great. So they have really good prices on hard drives, by the way. External hard drives, they have really good prices on that kind of. And if they break, they have a return policy.
They have a return policy that's excellent. Yeah. And I'm a big fan of them. Years ago, maybe I already told this story, my sister bought a jacuzzi and it broke after a year. And she called Costco to get some help. And they're like, sorry, it's out of warranty. And I was like, well, just tell them you want to return it. And so she calls and she says, hey, I got to return this jacuzzi. And they're like, yeah, we're not taking your jacuzzi back. And she's like, yeah, but the deal is you take everything back. So I ended up calling the CEO with her. And we did not speak to him, but we spoke to his secretary. And she got a call in 2 days saying, we'll be there to fix your jacuzzi.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm a loyal. What would I be, a Costcoite?
I don't know. I am too. They pay their employees a very good wage. They have very good benefits. I actually read a write-up on them. I believe it was in the New York Times. The executives are promoted from within. They hire all sorts of different people. And I've only had one experience there with an employee that wasn't. Maybe he was just having a bad day, I think. But everyone else there, the guys that are driving the forklifts around are friendly. I'm like, okay, you got to be happy at this job. Because I go to there's a grocery store I don't want to mention, but everyone there is cranky. And I think it's just because they're being treated not well. So.
Well, and you don't have to be a member to use the Costco pharmacy. And Consumer Reports consistently reports that they have the lowest fees, the lowest
markup
drug prices.
I did not know that. Huh.
Yeah, I guess it's because it's some kind of federal law that pharmacies have to be open.
Wow, great. Oh, wow. We've eaten up 24 minutes of someone's time.
I feel like we're good now. I
You
hope
all
everybody
are-
enjoyed this.
Everyone's going to sign up for the email newsletter that doesn't get it. It's
Yes.
gardenfork.tv/email, or there's a link in the show notes here. And Nicole's, you want to link to your new decision-making business? We have to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I've got to come up with a name first. So I'll wait for people to send in some names.
And also, there was some Labradors. Where do
The Whippet.
Labradors come from?
Where do Labradors come from? And I'll send the link for the Whippet.
And if you want to record an audio message on your phone and send it to us as an attachment, it's radio@gardenfork.tv. Nicole and I are going to stick around for the after show for patrons. If you're enjoying the show and want to support it and hear the after show, which is 15 minutes more of us talking about cool things, there's information about that below. Garden Fork Radio is produced by Garden Fork Media LLC in Brooklyn, New York. The music in the show is licensed from audioblocks.com and uniquetracks.com.